Obafemi Awolowo. Chief Obafemi Jeremiah Oyeniyi Awolowo. 6th March 1909 to 9th May 1987 was a Nigerian nationalist and statesman who played a key role in Nigeria's independence movement 1957 to 1960. Awolowo founded the Yoruba nationalist group Ebe Omo Oduduwa and was the first leader of government business and minister of local government and finance, and first premier of West under Nigeria's parliamentary system from 1952 to 1959. He was the official leader of the opposition in the federal parliament to the Balewa government from 1959 to 1963. As a young man, he was an active journalist, editing publications such as the Nigerian Worker, on top of others as well. After receiving his Bachelor's of Commerce degree in Nigeria, he traveled to London to pursue his degree in law. Obafemi Awolowo was the first premier of the Western region and later Federal Commissioner for Finance and Vice Chairman of the Federal Executive Council during the Nigerian Civil War. He was thrice a major contender for his country's highest office. A native of Ikenne in Ogun State of southwestern Nigeria, he started his career like some of his well-known contemporaries as a nationalist in the Nigerian youth movement, in which he rose to become Western Provincial Secretary. Awolowo was responsible for much of the progressive social legislation that has made Nigeria a modern nation. In 1963, he was imprisoned under the accusations of sedition and was not pardoned by the government until 1966, after which he assumed the role of Minister of Finance. In recognition of all this, Awolowo was the first individual in the modern era to be named as the leader of the Yorubas. Yoruba in Asiwaju Awon Yoruba or Asiwaju Omo Oduwa. Early life. Obafemi Awolowo was born Jeremiah Obafemi Oyeniyi Awolowo on 6th March 1909 in the remote town of Ikenne in present-day Ogun State of Nigeria. He was the only son of David Shopolu Awolowo, a farmer and sawyer, and Mary Efunyela Awolowo. He had two sisters and one maternal half-sister. Awolowo's father was born to a high chief and member of the Iwarefa, leading faction of the traditional Osugbo group that ruled Ikenne. In 1896, Awolowo's father became one of the first Ikenne natives to convert to Christianity. Awolowo's paternal grandmother, Adefule Awolowo, whom Awolowo adored, was a devout worshipper of the Ifa. Adefule, Awolowo's grandmother, believed that Obafemi was a reincarnation of her father, his great-grandfather. Awolowo's father, conversion to Christianity often went at odds with his family beliefs. He often challenged worshippers of the god of smallpox, Obaluaye. His father ultimately died on April 8, 1920, of smallpox when Obafemi was about 11 years old. He attended various schools including Baptist Boys High School, Abeokuta, and then became a teacher in Abeokuta, after which he qualified as a shorthand typist. Subsequently, he served as a clerk at the Wesley College, Ibadan, as well as a correspondent for the Nigerian Times. Following his education at Wesley College, Ibadan, in 1927, he enrolled at the University of London as an external student and graduated with a degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Hons. He went to the UK in 1944 to study law at the University of London and was called to the bar by the Honorable Society of the Inner Temple. on 9th November 1946. In 1949, Awolowo founded the Nigerian Tribune, a private Nigerian newspaper which he used to spread nationalist consciousness among Nigerians. Politics. In 1945, he attended the 5th Pan-African Congress in Manchester as a representative of the Nigerian along with H.O. Davis. Amongst an illustrious list of attendees included Kwame Nkrumah, Hastings Banda, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, and Jaja Wachuku, to name a few. As premier, Awolowo was Nigeria's foremost federalist. In his path to Nigerian freedom, 1947, the first systematic Federalist Manifesto by a Nigerian politician, he advocated federalism as the only basis for equitable national integration, and as head of the action group, he led demands for the federal constitution, which was introduced in 1954. Late-return constitution, following primarily the model proposed by the Western Region delegation led by him. As premier, he proved to be and was viewed as a man of vision and a dynamic administrator. Awolowo was also the country's leading socio-democratic politician. He supported limited public ownership and limited central planning in government. He believed that the state should channel Nigeria's resources into education and state-led infrastructural development. Controversially, and at considerable expense, he introduced free primary education for all and free health care for children in the Western region, established the first television service in Africa in 1959, and the Oduduwa Group, of which were financed from the highly lucrative cocoa industry, which was the mainstay of the regional economy. In opposition, from the eve of independence, he led the action group as the leader of the opposition in the federal parliament, leaving Samuel Ladoke Akintola as the Western Region Premier. Disagreements between Awolowo and Akintola on how to run the Western Region led the latter to an alliance with the Tafawa Balewa-led NPC federal government. A constitutional crisis led to the declaration of a state of emergency in the Western Region, eventually resulting in the widespread breakdown of law and order. Excluded from national government, Awolowo and his party faced an increasingly precarious position. Akintola's followers, angered at their exclusion from power, formed the Nigerian National Democratic Party (NNDP) under Akintola's leadership. Having previously suspended the elected Western Regional Assembly, the federal government then reconstituted the body after maneuvers that brought Akintola's NNDP into power without an election. So shortly afterwards, Awolowo and several disciples were arrested, charged, convicted of treason, and jailed under Balewa for conspiring with the Ghanaian authorities to overthrow the federal government. In 1979 and 1983, he contested under the Unity Party's platform as a presidential candidate, but lost to the northern-based National Party of Shehu Shagari. Legacy. In 1992, the Obafemi Awolowo Foundation was founded as an independent, non-profit, non-partisan organization committed for the furthering the symbolic interaction of public policy and relevant scholarship with a view to promoting the overall development of the Nigerian nation. The foundation was launched by the President of Nigeria at that time, General Ibrahim Babangida, and at the Liberty Stadium, Ibadan. However, his most important bequest, styled Awoism, are his exemplary integrity, his welfareism, his contributions to hastening the process of decolonization, and his consistent and reasoned advocacy of federalism based on ethno-linguistic self-determination and uniting political strong states as the best basis for Nigerian unity. Awolowo died peacefully at his Iken home, the Efunyela Hall, so named after his mother, on May 9, 1987, at the age of 78, and was laid to rest in Ikene amid tributes across political and ethno-religious divides. Honors. He is featured in the 100 Naira banknote since 1999. In addition to variety of other chieftaincy titles, Chief Awolowo held the title of Odole Oduwa of Ile Ife. Bibliography. Path to Nigerian Freedom. Awo, an autobiography of the Chief Obafemi Awolowo. My Early Life. Thoughts on Nigerian Constitution. The People's Republic. The strategy and tactics of the People's Republic of Nigeria. The problems of Africa. The need for ideological appraisal. A war on the Nigerian Civil War. Path to Nigerian greatness. Voice of reason. Voice of courage. Voice of wisdom. Adventures in Power. Book 1. My March Through Prison. Adventures in Power. Book 2. Travels of Democracy. My March Through Prison. Socialism in the Service of New Nigeria. Selected speeches of Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Philosophy of Independent Nigeria. Memorable quotes from Awo. The Path to Economic Freedom in Developing Country. Blueprint for Post-War Reconstruction. Anglo-Nigerian Military Pact Agreement.